August 20th, 1974. Director of Parks, Department of Lands, Forests and Water Resources, Parliament Buildings, Victoria, BC. Dear Sir, as a former resident and active forest survey officer in British Columbia, I came to know many areas of your province very well. During forest survey work, I became interested in minerals and for several years carried a prospector's license. My work in Ottawa has continued to involve in surveys in all provinces. During one such survey I took a couple of days for hiking and have discovered a very startling find. I have kept my information entirely secret because of its location and value and would like it that way until something concrete develops. The find I estimate at a value of well over $1 billion, probably as high as 20. However, it is within the borders of a provincial park. Would it be possible to obtain a special permit to enter the park and remove surface samples for analysis and evaluation? If this is to be pursued further this year, there is some urgency, as weather conditions and terrain make winter travel very difficult and dangerous. Would you please forward as soon as possible some indication of what your department might feel regarding the issuing of such a special permit? Samples could then be obtained and the matter taken from there. I realize there are many things involved but cannot see that the removal of a few surface samples for analysis could affect the value of the park. Further considerations could be weighed after the analysis and evaluation of the find. I doubt if anyone has ever had to sit on anything like this before. Yours truly, G. Stuart Brown, Supervisor, Surveys Section Plant Protection Division PS. Please reply to my home address, 2713 Norbury Crescent, Ottawa, Ontario Department of Recreation and Conservation Parks Branch V8W2Y9 Victoria, BC August 29, 1971 Mr. G. Stuart Brown, 2713 Norbury Crescent, Ottawa, Ontario Kiv 6 and 3 Dear Sir, thank you for your letter of August 20th. 1974 regarding your application for a park use permit to prospect and remove samples from a provincial park. Enclosed, please find a policy statement approved by the Minister on March 1, 1973 which states the following, effective January 1, 1973, prospecting for minerals and the registration of new mineral claims shall not be authorized or permitted within any provincial park. Accordingly, we cannot approve your request. Yours very truly, R. H. Aarons, Director, 4R, Lowry, Chief of Management August 29, 1971 September 5, 24, 1974 2713 Norbury Crest, Ottawa, K1V6 and 3 September 24, 1974. Honorable Leo T. Nimsic, Minister of Mines and Petroleum Resources Parliament Buildings, Victoria, BC. Honorable Sir, as a former resident and active forest survey officer in British Columbia, I came to know many areas of your province very well. During forest survey work I became interested in minerals and for several years carried a prospector's license. My work in Ottawa has continued to involve me in survey work in all provinces, but it was not until this summer that I was able to take time to investigate properly certain location in which I had previously been interested. To be brief, I have come up with some extremely startling results which have shaken me thoroughly. There is one problem. The particular spot of extreme interest is within the confines of one of your provincial parks, and prospecting, removal of samples, and mine development is therefore against the law. I do not wish in any way to flout the laws of the province, so I am writing to you. My request is that I be able to bring out loose surface samples to you and then have the situation discussed with your cabinet. For emphasis, I would estimate that there is over $20 billion involved, much of it loose on the surface. Appearances indicate much more, even to hundreds of billions, and this could make the Klondike and Caribou appear like peanuts. Please, above all else, keep this confidential for several reasons. If news breaks, hordes of people will be in there and you will lose control. Moreover, I could have removed $100,000 easily in one trip. 50 pounds equals 800 ounces pure, with little risk of being caught. If I could, so could others, and few would honor the law as outlined. See underlined above. Please communicate with me only through my home address. My office mail is pre-opened by staff before reaching my desk, and I would prefer the whole situation remain confidential between us until I can produce samples to prove my find. Things can in this way then proceed in a legal manner. Regardless of the above, the news will make headlines when it breaks, and it will. When the news media gets it, things will go wild. I am only human, and the fame of such an event is too much to pass up. Can you get me a permit to bring out loose samples? If so, will you? Sincerely, G. Stuart Brown, September 30th, 1974. Minister of Mines and Petroleum Resources, Province of British Columbia, Victoria, V6V4S2, September 30th, 1974. Mr. G. Stuart Brown, 2713 Norbury Crescent, Ottawa, Ontario, K1V6N3. Dear Mr. Brown, I have for acknowledgement receipt of your letter dated September 24th regarding certain mineral findings in the province of British Columbia. 6. I do not know how sure you are about your findings and the value you place on them. Therefore, it would be impossible for me to give you a permit unless I had much more information regarding both yourself and the area from which you wish to obtain samples. You will understand that the staking of claims in provincial parks has now been curtailed. I would appreciate knowing how many years ago it was that you worked as a Forest Service officer in British Columbia. Prior to the present government coming into power, claim staking was allowed in parks, but as I stated above, this is no longer possible. Yours sincerely, Leo T. Nimsic, Minister. 2713 Norbury Crescent, Ottawa, ONT, K1V6N3. October 24, 1974. Honorable Leo T. Nimsic, Minister of Mines and Petroleum Resources, Parliament Buildings, Victoria, BC. Honorable Sir, I have reread my letter of September 24th and your answer of September 30th regarding staking of mineral claims and removal of samples from provincial parks in British Columbia. My purpose in writing to you at that time was to obtain permission to remove loose surface samples and bring them to you as proof of the find and as a basis from which further development might progress. I have offered to keep this confidential until I deliver these samples to you and thereafter as long as necessary to set up suitable controls to prevent pilfering and what might be chaos resulting in the loss of lives. It is apparent to me that I have been unable to impress on you the significance of the FIND if the information I have given you with the general idea of the location were released to the public. I doubt if your laws would in any way be respected. I have, therefore, no intention of releasing to anyone any further information on the subject and will proceed as circumstances dictate at the time each decision is made. I fully realize that in your position you cannot afford to make mistakes, and it is for this reason that I have agreed to keep this confidential until your government can agree on a course of action. If you wish to issue me permission to collect and bring representative samples to you, I am willing to do this still. If this permission is not forthcoming, matters will develop anyway, but in a less controlled manner. I think I have been most considerate so far in keeping things under control, but this can only be a matter of time. Yours very truly, G. Stuart Brown.